guys, today is lesson 6, understanding variables and terms. So for today's lesson, we will be dissecting an expression and finding the variables, coefficient, and constant. Later on, we'll be learning furthermore to solve these equations. So for part 1, we'll do questions, do the odd numbers, so 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. For part 2, we'll do even numbers, so questions 2, 4, 6, 8, and 4. Word problems part 3, we'll do questions 2 and 3. So let's move on. Number 1, identify the variable, the coefficient, and constant. So since we don't know, I'll teach you the definitions of these and how to find these terms. So a variable is the unknown number. It represents something. So like in this case, it would be x. Sometimes people might use n, y. It depends. It's the unknown variable. Variables are the unknown number that we substituted with a letter. Coefficients. Coefficients are correlated with the variables. So like here, 7x. They are connected with the variable and its value depends on the x. Constant. A constant is a fixed number. So in this case, it's 4. There's no variable like x which could change its value. It's 4 throughout the expression. It has a solid value of 4 and it's independent. So now that we know what they are, let's move on to dissecting our expression. So identify the variable. So the variable, as I've said, is the unknown number that we have, which will be x. So variable is x, comma. The coefficient, it depends. It depends on the variable. So it's with it. So in this case, it would be 7. And the constant is the fixed valued number, which is 4. Nice job. We just finished our first question. Let's move on to number 3. Find the coefficient 9m plus 6. 6 is a constant. M is a variable, which means 9 is a coefficient. Number 5. Identify like terms in 4x plus 3 in the expression 4x plus 3y minus 2x plus 5. Identify like terms. So like terms are, I'll give you an example for like terms. Say that we're finding the amount of an apple. So the equation is apple plus an orange. If we're trying to find out the amount of apples, you can't add an apple and an orange. They are two different fruits. They have different values, meaning we cannot add them. But an apple and an apple, we're able to confidently write 2 apples since they're like terms. So we just need to find coefficients with the same variables. So here would be 4x minus 2y, and 3y is 11. So we can only add the terms with the variable x at the end. So 4x minus 2y. Let's rearrange it so it's easier to see, to visualize. 4x minus 2y plus 3y plus 5. Add like terms, and you get 4 minus 2x plus 3y plus 5. Since the question is asking for identifying the like terms, we'll just write it here, which would be 4x and negative 2x. There's our answer. This would be our expression if we were to combine them. Okay, let's move on to number 7. What is the coefficient of y in 8y plus 2? So what is the coefficient of the variable y? It is right next to it. It is 8. So 8. Let's move on to number 9. Find like terms in 3m plus 4n minus m plus 7. We can only like terms, which means they're going to have the same variable, which is 3m and negative m. So 3m and negative m. These are our like terms. If we were to combine them, it would look like 2m plus 4n plus 7. That's if you were to combine the like terms, this is how our equation would look like. And our answer is 3m and negative m. Let's move on to part 2. Combining like terms. So we got a little taste of combining like terms from the 2 questions before, for example, from number 9 and 5. Now we're moving on to actually focusing on the concept of combining like terms. So number 2, 7y minus 2y plus y. We're able to combine all 3 of these digits of these values, for they have the same variables, which means they're all like terms. So you have to use PEMDAS. So 7y minus 2y is 5y plus y. 5y plus y equals 6y. There we go. Number 4, 10m plus 5m plus 2. 2 doesn't have the variable of m, which means it is not a like term, so we cannot add to these. So the only numbers we're able to combine are 10m and negative 5m. So 10m minus 5m is 5m plus 2. Number 6, 6p minus 2p plus 9. 6p minus 2p, combining like terms, which is 6 minus 2, 4p plus 9. Nice. Number 8. 9r plus 7. 9r minus 4r plus 7. 9 minus 4, 5r plus 7. It's getting easier, right? Let's move on to our last part 3, word problems. So number 2, there are 7 Y cookies on the table. If Aileen takes away 3 Y cookies, but brings 4 more. How many cookies are there in the end if y equals 3? So let's write our expression first before we put our number, before we substitute our variable. So there was 7y, and he takes away 3y cookies, but he later brings 4 more. This is how our equation will look like. Combine like terms, 7y minus 3y equals 4y plus 4. Now that we got our final equation, we could now substitute the 3 inside. So we'll get 4 times 3, so 3 plus 4 times 3 is 12 plus 4, which is 16. He had 16 cookies at the end. Number 3. A store sells pencils and erasers, and Troy buys 4p plus 3. If P2 and E1, if P equals 2 and E equals 1, how many items did Troy buy in total? For this one, we just need to substitute right in since we were given an expression. So 4p plus 3e. There's no like terms to combine, so we'll just go as it is. So p is 2, so 2 times 2 plus 3e times 1, which equals 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 times 1 is 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. He bought 11 items total. So that's the end of today's lesson. It would be very good practice if you possibly could solve the other problems and questions that we have skipped throughout this lesson, this video, and try to solve and identify the terms by yourself. Thank you. Good job.